Hey, my name is Benton Marcum. I'm a student here at University of Advancing Technology, also goes by UAT, and I'm going to be going over ocean pollution today, one of the topics I'm doing for a final project for my contemporary global issues class. Over the last 5 weeks, we've been learning about a lot of different types of issues around the world, and we were given this week one to choose that we feel is important to us, but also to learn a little bit more about that. And so I myself have just grown up throughout my life being a swimmer. Um, kind of grew close to the ocean. I've always loved when I've gone and seen it. The reality is, we grow up and we hear topics about global warming. We hear pollution that is in all different types of the world. And I think a lot of us who are Americans, we don't realize how bad it is in other places of the world. And I'll show what that looks like in some of the photos that I'll share through this presentation here. But I just want you guys to keep in your minds thinking about what can you do, even if it's something really small that you're willing to sacrifice or change in order to make a difference, because it really starts at the surface level before we start getting deep into the ocean. And part of what I mean by that surface level is it's not only just oceans, it's lakes, it's rivers around the world where people are just throwing trash wherever they want it to be because they won't have to see it. They won't have to deal with it. This is a picture in Indonesia. As you can obviously see, trash is littered all over the place. And this is not the only place in the world that deals with this. So it's a prevalent issue that not only deals with pollution that extends into the marine life, but it also leads to sicknesses and just lesser quality of life for those who live near these areas. Because it's not just on the beachfront, it extends into the cities and other areas. They just don't know how to keep up and dispose it. They throw it in the ocean and it basically just gets regurgitated back to them. Or they'll burn it. Try and burn the trash. And that's also not great, for the ozone layer. It releases a lot of toxic chemicals around the air near them and also just into the atmosphere itself. So we need to do our best simply to start cleaning up at the surface level. Get engaged in projects, get engaged in doing what we can to really make a difference in our community. Every little every little bit helps. Just making sure we're not littering, bringing a trash bag with us to pick up the trash. When we go camping, making sure we're picking up everything around us before we leave, making it a great site for the next people that come through, not having to do extra work than us. This picture you see here looks like confetti. It's called microplastics. Microplastics comes from pretty much any source of plastic that can break down, even from polyester, which could be part of a lot of the clothing materials that we wear. So it's our duty to really think about the kind of products that we use as well and we consume, because over time, depending on how they're going to be disposed of, it's going to break down in the ocean, and that gets consumed by fish, other types of marine life. And then think about all the fish that you buy in the market. Studies have shown that microplastics are showing up in the fish that we're buying. So we're literally poisoning ourselves over time. So we need to do something about this. This is just another example where waste is simply just being disposed into the ocean. I mean, it's just dumping literally into a coral reef. Like, you're just going to kill all of the wildlife eventually there, or the aquatic life. And the other issue that happens is we have a lot of sedimentary components that flow down to the bottom of the sea level, and especially in these types of areas, it messes up the amount of available oxygen that's actually in the water and will suffocate plant life and even certain, aquatic life. So all these things add up. Every bottle adds up one after another. I mean, just take a look at this picture and try to count how many plastic bottles are here, right? And when we really think about it, it's so easy to grab all these plastic bottles and to filter through them appropriately. But then we're left with plastic bottles. We have different types of trash. I mean, that's just a lot of like wood. That's there, twigs and random things. You have a lot of different plastics, aerosol cans, mini appliances that I see there. I see like rotten food. there's more than just plastic really that is the issue here, but all of this is just getting dumped and disposed of. It's causing literal land masses that you could climb on top of if you wanted to. Some of them are so dense. This whale right here, it consumed 100 kilograms of trash. That's a lot. And because of the amount of trash it consumed, it washed up on shore dead. Little things at a time build up. These animals don't know better. They're not really able to distinguish between what's trash and not, and they end up ingesting the wrong things and killing themselves over that. So we are literally killing our economy by these choices that we're making. So my invitation to you, just in conclusion, is again to think about what you could do to make a difference, whether it be as simple as doing your best to avoid the amount of plastic bottles that you buy, amount of plastic bags that you use when you go to a store. Just try to not participate as much in the feeding problem as the world works towards more sustainable and better solutions. But that's me signing off, and hope you guys have a great day.